Hey friends, and welcome to Win Stupid Prizes, the show where we ask the questions that nobody thought were worth asking. I'm Eddie, and I'm joined today by three people who hurt themselves in confusion. And they are Bear.
Say-ay-ay!
Alex.
Ow.
And our judge this episode is Jamie.
That's ironic. I was trying to use confusion.
Alright, Jamie, before you get too confused, what is our question this time?
Right, well, I've had a very fortuitous event. Every single government driving organisation in the world have somehow contacted me at the same time to discuss how driving is getting really stale and they're losing their player base. And so they need to reinvigorate driving with a new patch. A new update.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I've come to you guys because of how well we did with football last year.
Oh, yeah, look how well that's going.
Yeah, it's going great. It's taking time to add multi-ball, okay?
We accidentally added slavery. Whoops.
All bad guys.
So, we need to fix driving. We need to get down to what makes people want to play driving and regain that joy and get more people back into it.
Okay. Interesting that you say what makes people want to play driving, because what makes me want to play a game is points.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that the point system in driving is currently very confusing.
Oh, I've never understood it. I've not got a single one.
Neither do I, right? Like, I know you can gain them, but they seem to come in like chunks of 3 or 6, depending on where you live. Maybe 9, I don't know the specifics.
Wait, so these aren't the kind of points when someone just says 1,000 points if you run that old woman over? Because I got loads of those ones.
No, look, that is a suggestion that I might bring to the table.
That's kind of like a jail situation there.
Not if they never find out.
That is also confusing. If you score too many points, you get taken out of the game. What's up with that?
I was going to say, most people I know who scored points aren't playing anymore.
Yeah, right? How does that make any sense?
Yeah, I guess it's like a balance mechanism.
If you're too good at the game, you're not allowed to play.
I think the current points are negative points. So instead of saying we start with 0 points and then if you get 15 points you lose, you start with 15 points. If you ever get to 0 points, you lose.
Oh.
And that's all the bad stuff like running over grandma or like speeding.
Yeah.
And then all the good stuff you get positive points for.
Okay, yeah, like 50 points for hitting a Manchester United fan, as the classic joke goes.
But what if it's like the Keyforge kind of thing where, you know, if a deck wins a tournament, it's retired, it can't play anymore. Is that what this is representing?
How would that fit into driving?
You get to the other end of your journey.
That's the way it works right now. If you get enough points, you're done. You've won driving. You bring in a new driver because it's not fair to keep that same driver on the road.
I thought you were suggesting a new system. Whoever gets to the destination first is retired from driving.
Wow, Taxi Driver has a lot of churn.
I guess that's kind of like the Old West right there. Like, whoever gets there first claims it, lives on that land, and everyone else has to keep going.
I guess so, kind of.
Yeah, because no one had that land before.
I do have one problem with the start at 15, lose points for bad things, gain points for good things. In so much as one could do a bunch of good things and then run a bunch of people over. I guess that one's prison, but one could, like, speed everywhere for the next year.
Yeah, but isn't that the point of it?
You've reinvented fines, but for driving.
I mean, there can be some lose conditions. You know, you lose all your points.
So this is very transactional.
Yeah, if you miss the old lady, you lose all your points.
So, like, if you drive positively and well for a whole year, you can now spend the next 2 months breaking every speed limit around the country.
As long as you do it safely and not actually kill people.
Yeah.
Well, you'll lose more points, and you might not have accounted for those, yeah.
So if you accrue more points, if you hit enough Manchester United fans, you're allowed to speed and hit grandma once or twice.
Yeah, perfect.
Sorry, just to keep our listener base on, you need to edit in, insert enemy football team.
I guess just saying football works there because over the other side of the pond, they might think we're talking about their enemy American football team. So it works, yeah.
And there's probably a Manchester in the US. Maybe there's a Manchester United. I don't know. I do know that Manchester United, I think, is the largest sporting franchise in the world, and so most people will know what it is.
So yeah, just everyone wants to run over a Man U fan is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, basically. That's why it's worth so many points.
I do think, apart from, of course, Manchester United fans who obviously aren't real humans and have real lives, I think it should be an instant loss if you kill someone. I think we can all agree on that one.
No, I think you have to. I think the cost of killing someone is you then have to spend the next however long, like, going on an investigation into their life and trying to justify your killing of them. And then that gets reviewed. And if it's accepted, you get to keep driving.
This episode got dark fast.
No, that is good, because if it turns out like you killed the next Hitler or something, then that should just be like so many points.
Yeah, we don't want to punish people for killing well.
Maybe that's the win condition for driving.
How did we get from driving to killing the next Hitler?
I think this is the murder balance patch, not the...
That's a good point. So for next year on Win Stupid Prizes...
Look, we're against wanton murder, but we're not against culling the population.
guys, who wants to run over Bear for a bunch of points?
Look, James Bond needs a license to kill, and we're just expanding that, so you just need a license to drive.
A driving license to kill.
Yeah, and therefore you can kill.
You have a certain time frame to retroactively request a license to kill.
You just get them issued at the same time. You pass your driving test, you also get a license to kill with it.
Get three strikes, which you can either use to win a bowling game or kill someone.
That's so fucking stupid.
If you ever needed an incentive to learn to drive, there it is.
Right, so we're improving and making people more aware of the point system. Yeah, sounds good. That's important. I've never understood it. I agree. So what else have we got?
Okay, so we're talking a lot about murder and, like, murderers on the road.
Yeah.
For some reason.
We all agree that, like, murderers deserve a place on the road.
Absolutely.
And non-murderers deserve a place on the road. And the problem is, those groups clash. Not everyone likes playing in the murder meta. Not everyone wants to play on the PvP server.
That is true.
We need behavior-based score matchmaking.
Oh, okay.
So if you're, like, real friendly and chill on the road, if you're, like, an old person driving at 5 miles an hour, you get to drive with all the other 5 miles an hour old people. If you're, like, constantly swerving and overtaking and honking, then you are on the road with all of those other people. It's chaos. And also, if you're just walking somewhere, you're still in the same environment. So, like, if you're a pedestrian and you're a terrible driver, good luck.
So is this a reality shift where you're driving on the roads in the 5th dimension, which is like the PvP dimension? And
Yeah, we're instancing it.
Well, I think we just need to, like, have massive expansion of our... Because that doesn't work. That's not real, Alex.
Okay, sorry.
You're ridiculous.
So you're saying that all the murderers live in the murder zone and all the non-murderers live in the non-murder
No. We're not trying to segregate people.
But we are literally segregating people.
We need more motorways, and when you join the road, you go into the huge matchmaking cluster, and it puts you on the right road.
So these are like stacked on top of each other?
However it works. No, I think sideways so that we can use up more space and have to demolish more housing to build them.
Look, we'll just trust the algorithm, it's fine.
I think the more wild drivers, we either want them at the top or the bottom, depending on how much we want to see cars flying, if it's a vertical stack.
So you're driving along on the motorway and someone cuts you up and you get angry, and so while you're doing the next bit of driving, you get your little tablet display up in the middle of your computer and you report them. Like report for bad behaviour, and then because you're too busy looking at that, you swerve, cut someone up, and someone else reports you for bad behaviour.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right, yeah, I mean, if you do the report mid-match, but as soon as you arrive, what you have to do is you sit down with the agents, you watch the video of your entire journey.
With the thousands of people.
Yeah, and they sit down with everyone, you review your journey. It's sped up at like 1.5 times.
Oh, okay. That's alright then.
And you watch that leg.
No, it's just a list of number plates, and you just have to find the right one.
And it, like, they ask you, if anyone's done anything wrong, you point it out and be like, yeah, I'd like to report them for, swerving around or that. And then it adjusts their behavior score. And it's all automated, there's no, like, reviewing by people.
Oh, you have an AI.
Just if you report someone enough, it damages their reputation. But every report you issue also damages your reputation.
But not as much?
It depends on the outcome as well. If you're issuing reports that other people are issuing a lot, then it diminishes yours less.
Right, okay. So you're saying that to make you not be able to put in false reports, if you're putting reports that aren't corroborated, then it's a thing against you.
One of my concerns with this is how many players have we got per match?
a lot.
Yeah, it has to be a lot, but then people who are like right on the fringe of like the difference in the matchmaking, like the behavior scores.
Yeah, people who are about to, what's it called, like promote or demote. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have a real rough time or great time and ruin it for everybody else, depending on the specific.
Yeah, but the point is, like, there's not like 2 levels, right?
Yeah,
So you expect a little bit of leeway.
but there's only so many houses we can demolish. Like, there's gonna be like 5 levels.
So the thing is, the people who are about to promote to the next wild amount of driving,
Yeah.
the people that they're matched with, they're going to be used to seeing that level of bad driving. They just stay cooler about it.
Okay.
Then when the person promotes to the next level, that kind of driving happens all the time, and people don't stay cool about it as much
Okay.
in that level.
I can absolutely see there's going to be players who just yo-yo between layers.
Yeah, that happens, though. That's the point of a boundary.
Well, then you have the problem that, like, at the bottom tier, everyone's just like a road rage monster, and then everyone's reporting everyone all the time.
You mean the top tier? Yes.
Well, I meant by bottom layer, I meant bottom tier rather than specifically, like, yeah.
Yeah, but they're reporting that they're flaming all the time, they're highly competitive, they're cutting each other off, and maybe, sometimes they actually PvP each other and take them out.
Are we going to have to, for enough land mass to fit all these extra roads in, are we going to have to, like, borrow Siberia from Russia or something to add the extra, like, lanes for the UK?
No, we just need to go, we've got all that green space over here.
Right.
Yeah, we don't need
I
that.
don't think we do in the cities.
No, but who drives in the cities?
That's a good point.
We only need the asshole tier for cities and then one nice tier for people who actually have to drive.
We could just remove cars from cities and just make it only on motorways and stuff like that.
The question, Alex, was to improve driving, not remove it.
Yeah, but that's good because that means that all the stuff about parking in cities, you just park in like a big car park and then you get like a train or a bus for the last mile.
I'm not sure if the driving agencies are going to like that suggestion.
We can't be promoting public transport here, even if we're pro public transport.
No, we're not. We're just, in fact, in a way, we're deregulating driving in the cities. Because this system, we don't need punishments anymore, because we don't need to protect anyone who hasn't put themselves in that tier.
What if a cabal of players, like, join together, like arsehole players, and agree to, like, give each other good ratings?
See, there's no good ratings. There's only bad ratings.
Okay, but agree to not report each other, so slowly pull themselves up the tier score.
But how many people are this?
How many people are this? You'd be surprised at the power of arseholes combine.
Yeah.
Especially if they queue at the same time, so they can definitely turn up in each other's reports.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, but unlike a game, we actually do have a metric that's not just based on reports to tell, which, we can see their speed and their crash numbers.
Oh,
and so the more
interesting.
crash numbers you have, you're going to drive yourself up. So even if you've agreed not to report each other, you're still crashing all the time.
I like this view of bad drivers we have, where they're all crashing all the time, flying off the side of the road, falling 5 roads down and smashing into the ground.
It's very expensive to be a bad driver.
Look, they know that there's stunt points available, and they're going for the stunt points to keep their license.
Look, a lot of the bad driving is reliant on the fact that other people are trying to stay alive. And so putting them all in the tier where that's not true suddenly changes it all up.
It is an asymmetrical cooperative game.
Driving is reliant on people trying to stay alive. It's such a funny perspective, but also accurate.
It's why I don't get angry on the road. I'm just like, we're all trying to get to this place we're trying to get to, and always try and stay alive.
Yeah.
I'm the same. When someone's being an absolute dickhead and cutting me up, it's just like, all right, just don't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
It's why my favorite position to drive is in the cities where it's slow but aggressive, and in a shit car where I can just keep my position, and if they're like gonna cut me off and drive into the side of me, I'm like, I don't care, I'm in a shit car.
That's interesting. What if instead by behavior scores we just gave like people's cars upgraded or downgraded based on their behavior score? So you only get the nicest cars with a good behavior score.
So what you're saying is no BMW owners would own BMWs anymore.
Exactly.
This is perfect.
Obviously not all BMW drivers, but like, man, it is so frequently BMW drivers and vans.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
I mean, if you're driving shoes, then you probably shouldn't be on the road.
What's wrong with driving a big shoe?
Oh, god damn it.
Why would we not want to see more cars in the shape of other objects on the road? You're right, scratch my last idea, car in the shape of household objects. That's the new patch.
I'm a little teapot.
We're just going to have the Monopoly pieces. We've got a shoe, a top hat,
I'm the dog. I'm driving the dog.
a dog.
I'll be the race car. I'll actually go
I'll
somewhere.
be the battleship. Thanks.
Alex, you're the iron.
No, Alex gets to be the thimble that everyone includes in their Monopoly set.
There's a cowboy as well. There was a cowboy.
No, shut up. Shut up.
In the American one, there was a cowboy.
No.
My parents have the American version of Monopoly, and there is a cowboy hat.
No, shut up. I don't believe anything.
I know, this one's a little figure of a cowboy on a horse.
Oh my gosh.
On a horse. All right, a horse I'll accept.
Anyway, driving.
I've got an idea which I think solves Bear's problem in a different way.
Oh, okay.
What? Medication.
And I know, Eddie, you've said some words about we don't want public transport.
Yeah.
So instead, I just want to reduce the number of drivers.
So we're back on legalized murder.
So everyone car shares in these long tube-shaped cars that go on rails.
All right.
And what we do is instead of investing all this money in motorways,
Yeah.
we make more of these rails so that we can put more and more passengers there.
Yeah.
These rails will allow us to go at speeds that you just can't go on in a car.
So, Hyperloop.
I see what you're saying. The problem with this, though, is if you're stopping at everybody's house, it's going to take forever. So you're going to have designated places to stop along the rails.
Yes.
Why, though? Why not just have the rail stop at everyone's house?
Because that would take forever.
That's a little bit impractical.
Well, you don't stop at everyone's house. They have a button where they can request a stop.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Or they hold their hand out.
We would still have to have designated stopping places, right? But they could be more frequent.
I don't think you would, because if there's no cars on the road, why can't you just stop wherever?
Yeah, press the button, driver stops immediately, everyone gets a whiplash.
Okay, maybe there's like a time, you have to press the button a certain time ahead of the thing getting there.
So we call this the last mile problem, where you have a station or a bus stop or some...
What are you talking about? Station? We're talking about driving, not trains or buses.
What's a bus?
A driving station
A driving station.
Thank you.
where the rail car stops,
Yep.
you get out, and now you need to get to your house, which is probably a mile away, let's say.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
And you can do that by having
Legs.
smaller trains, smaller car tubes,
Yeah, okay.
like the underground car tube that we see in London.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
And so you can then walk to your house.
Or we can make them big double-decker cars.
Oh, the thing that they used to use to distribute mail around London. Like one of those.
Yeah.
Maybe a big one of those.
We could have two-wheeled cars that you can get for free that can take you from your station.
Oh, segways.
Speaking of segways, let me...
Yeah, these could be segways, these could be scooters, these could be bicycles,
Why have it tied to a rail at all?
because it makes it go faster.
But does it? Like, imagine, what if something goes wrong with the rail? Surely, like, you're on a rail, that's only going to slow you down because of friction.
What, you want a hover car?
Oh, I see what you're getting at here. You're thinking of the Japanese bullet cars that
Yes.
they've got.
No, I'm thinking, like, we need a cat bus.
Cat bus?
I don't know what a bus is, but okay.
What is this bus?
Cat bus knows where it wants to go. It can, like, fuck with time. It can change size. And it just hops around with its big cat face, right? This is all established. This isn't news to
My
anyone.
patch to driving is time travel.
It's not time travel. It's a cat bus. It's an established figure.
Oh, I'll get there really fast if I leave 3 hours ago.
I would have already arrived if I had left 3 hours ago. What do you know?
I do not know what this reference is. I do not need a deep dive into it right now.
It's cat bus from Ghibli.
So I think car tubes solve every single problem we have with cars.
Do you like connect a bunch of them together, like in a row to fit more people in?
You can connect a bunch of them together, or you can just run them more frequently. It depends how many car tube drivers you have.
I love the idea. You connect a bunch of them together, but only the first one is attached to the rail, so the rest just whip around it with grapevine.
It's like a kite.
It's only when it stops that it happens, though, right? Like the pull keeps them in a line, and then you stop, and they just whip.
Well, you turn a corner and it's like whoosh.
Yeah, I mean, London did experiment with this for a little while, but it only had two of them together, not a bunch of them.
Oh, the floppy long car, yeah.
They were just trying to make them like, they were thinking how many of these can we put together, and two of them proved problematic enough that they got rid of them.
And that's why they foisted them off to Bath.
Oh my gosh. The bendy buses in Bath going up that hill.
I think you mean the
take
bendy
about
long cars.
the bendy long cars in Bath going up that hill
Yeah.
takes about 20 to 40 minutes for them to just accelerate enough to go up the hill at a reasonable speed.
There are days where you can legitimately walk faster up that hill than the bus.
That's why you want them on a rail. The rail lets you get around terrain in a way, because the rail sets up the route.
I do know that rails really struggle with hills, which is why there are so many tunnels.
They do.
But no, you can have a special kind of rail where there's
Yeah, it's a chain lift. You get them at theme parks.
kind of like a chain lift. Yeah, there's one where you can have a special hill mounting one. They have them on car tubes in like the Alps, I believe, when they have to get to certain locations that are quite high.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You mean like the one across the river in London?
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. I haven't been on that. Well, no, I have been on that.
Question. What are the speeds of trains
Car tubes.
compared to roller coasters?
What are trains?
Yeah, good. What are the speeds of car tubes compared to roller coasters?
Well, a roller coaster is a car tube at the end of the day.
Yes.
I guess so.
It's a miniature car tube.
It just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it just goes round in a loop. Well, car tubes go round in a loop eventually.
Eventually, true.
The circle car tube, especially.
I'm going to go up the M1 in my car tube.
It might have to go there and back.
Because roller coasters go up and then, like, use gravity, I think they go faster in the, like, short term.
Yes.
It looks like high-speed trains are a bit faster than the fastest roller coasters. Damn, I was really hoping that we could just replace all of the public transport with roller coasters.
I mean, we could.
I think
You're right. People would be happier and scareder if they're scared of roller coasters.
Yeah.
You're just going to, okay, rather than replacing public transport with roller coasters, it's all internal height changing things. So all lifts and escalators we're replacing with roller coasters.
And all stairs.
we can change the London intercity traffic to Mr. Bones' Wild Ride because it already takes you 400 years to get anywhere.
I was wondering if that was going to go up.
All stairs are just replaced with free-fall drop machines.
Another idea that I had that is sort of related to this, because we've kind of been skirting around the edges of this,
Yep.
is just to get more cars on the road. Because the big problem at the moment is, like, with congestion is that the roads are just not big enough.
Okay.
As we've established, we could demolish a bunch of houses and make a bunch more matchmaking servers, but that's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm suggesting is 3D roads. Roads are essentially 2D at the moment if you look from top down. Like, they occasionally go over and under each other, but it's very brief.
You're talking Green Hill Zone, right?
Are we talking multiple levels of road?
I'm talking like when you've got a 3-lane highway, what if it was a 3x3 lane highway?
How do you overtake?
You can go up or down, or you can go right and around.
Spaghetti Junction.
No, but the entire road, not just like certain bits of it, every bit of the road.
But you'd separate them presumably by speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The further to the right and up you are, the faster you can go.
Yeah. The up and to the right is fast.
So what you're saying is you're just doing the matchmaking thing, except people choose their own match.
That's motorways already.
But like in a multi-lane road, you're still in the same match.
Yeah. But you're separating into different...
You've got top, middle, and bottom lanes, like in a classic over style.
And you win by destroying the enemy base.
Let's get into that.
Well, yeah, there are a bunch of creeps on the road.
Do cars need to be able to float up to the lane above naturally, or can you only do it when there are...
I think you have to do it, like, in reality, you'd have to do it by a junction. We went on that 3D road near Sheffield, if you remember, and it was very confusing.
Oh, that was a nonsense.
Because the sat-nav was, like, actually saying, oh, you should be on this road. It's
Underneath,
like, but we're
yeah.
on that road. Actually, no, you should be on the underneath road.
Yes, that was awful.
So you need to actually improve sat-navs.
To be honest, I wasn't thinking different roads. I was thinking stilts.
Oh, okay.
I have often wondered why my car doesn't have the button to go on, like, stilt wheels.
Yeah, you press the Go-Go Gadget legs button on your
I
car.
was going to reference this Spader Gadget.
Does that mean that the slim cars have to go on the bottom road and then the...
No, the stilts can, like, widen out.
Yeah, the wheels go up and out a little bit. So you've got to be a good, like, a good driver.
How does changing lanes work?
Look, with modern AI advancements, we'll be able to have the AI handle the width of the wheels, and we still make all of the terrible decisions about the driving.
Yeah, people are skeptical of self-driving cars, so we'll just have self-wheeling cars.
Oh my gosh. What happens if you're trying to... I guess you have to go into the top to turn off. No, any turning off would just kill the cars below you.
No, because the wheels don't just go out. They also go front and back.
The wheel can lift up individually. Also, the wheels can roll over the top of a car you're overtaking.
No, because it's all tiered. They should be able to slot out.
See, look, I mean, I'm gesturing with my hands for listeners.
Yeah.
But the cars you're going across, you're going to T-bone a car.
Okay.
Your car lifts itself up. Closest wheel lifts, rolls along the top of the car. Second wheel does the same. Then they reach down back to the ground. Seamless transition.
You're right.
Seamless.
In a two-wheeled car system.
In a two-wheel car.
Well, you have the other pair of wheels doing similar things, but at their own timing.
Yeah,
I think you just need to equip the car with a bit of a jumpy function, so if it's like really at the top, it can do a bit of a leapfrog to...
Jump function. Oh, that's genius.
Given this issue, instead of having to make cars and AI do it, why don't we just all fly planes?
Well, how about small car-sized planes in a 3D space?
Just everyone has a helicopter, and we just automatically learn about, like, stacking Heights.
Why aren't we just Coruscant?
Yeah, this is the chase scene in Coruscant.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that's more expensive than cars.
No, it doesn't have to be more expensive, because if we make everyone need to own a helicopter, the helicopter production people are going to start, like, making more economic helicopters.
I see.
I think it's always going to be more energy efficient to drive on the
Well,
ground.
get the scientists to solve it then, idiot!
Gravity has... it's a force.
All right, we'll just patch gravity out of driving.
Fine, just start making the fucking Dyson swarm then, so we can have all that energy and it doesn't matter.
We came here to patch driving. We fixed the world's energy problems. Welcome to Win Stupid Prizes.
Look, it's an energy problem. We need to start terraforming space. Oh, it's the solution to everything. Oh, why do we keep coming back to we need to launch a Dyson sphere and start terraforming space? Because it's the fucking answer. Let's go already.
Welcome to Series 2 of Win Stupid Prizes.
There is a way to add these together, and it's to simply add side quests to driving. If you make side quests to, like, do little bits of the Dyson sphere or do little bits of the space travel, then everyone will accidentally be pulling together by completing side quests during driving to help solve the energy crisis, to eventually build us to helicopters or whatever the plan was.
At that point, it'd be drones.
Can taxi missions be side quests? Because that would be really good. If you were driving along, it's like, Jim has a taxi mission for you. Jim gets a lift. You get a point.
Okay, yeah, no. You get to include that.
Side quest, fill up your car with rocket fuel, deliver it to this site, and then siphon it out with a tube in your mouth.
To be honest, taxi quests, the ultimate form of the taxi quest is the car tube that we talked about, right?
Sure.
No, I think that's really uninteresting. That's not really like a quest, because it's all scheduled and you
The
just...
person at the front's getting all the points.
No, that's like a simulator, though. It's not a quest
I
where,
mean,
like...
demand-responsive car tubes are a thing.
Yeah.
We've played Crazy Taxi, right?
I've played Simpsons Hit and Run.
The fun in that is picking someone up and, like, choosing where you're going to jump across the train track to save time to earn a bigger tip.
That is true.
No one on a car tube can choose to jump the system for a bigger tip unless...
You can jump from one car tube to the next.
Look, if a big chasm has opened up in the middle of the rail and you have to decide between detouring and losing some of your tips or doing a jump, then I'm back in. But I don't see you opening up chasms in the ground. So what I'm hearing is we need to dig deeper until we find a bunch of demons underground.
Derailing this into Dwarf Fortress will not...
I was just referencing Lord of the Rings.
I see, and my brain went, suddenly a chasm appears in the middle of the rails and we need to hit 88 miles an hour to make sure that
go back.
the bridge is still there.
That's it. Wait, that's speeding pretty much everywhere, right?
Yes.
So what we need to do is we need to raise the speed limit everywhere to 88 miles an hour so that everyone can arrive before they left.
Oh, that is good. That is good.
So the thing about that is, that's already the way the system works. You're not allowed to go 88 miles an hour, but if you do, then there's nothing they can do about it. You're time traveled, so you can't be punished as long as you went 88 miles an hour.
No, if you do, you're fine, because your average speed is so much less. Because you've gone back in time, your average speed is a negative number.
No, it's much more, right?
It's much more.
Yeah, but it's a negative number.
No, it's an infinite number.
No,
It goes infinite.
We're vectorizing our speed. If you go minus 4,876 miles an hour,
Your velocity.
you've not broken the speed limit. You're fine.
Genius.
My legal services are available.
That's the smartest thing we've said on this podcast. And it wasn't quite right.
Yeah, you get caught, you're going 100 miles an hour. You're like, actually, I'm driving backwards, so it's negative 100 miles an hour, so it's less than the speed limit, idiot.
Drive backwards at 100 miles an hour. It's under the speed limit. Oh, God.
You're right, and this should be writ legal. If you can drive safely backwards at minus 100 miles an hour, you should not.
That's the thing, and the only reason we don't know that is because no one's ever tried to drive backwards.
You're right.
It's like in Ready Player One, where, you put an Easter egg for someone driving in backwards. No one's ever gonna try that day one, first minute of the game, because people like to do the expected behavior.
Like the first thing you do in Mario Kart.
No one's ever played a video game and done something weird for fun. So I think we should patch out all of the Easter eggs and put them in places people actually will find them.
That would save a lot of RAM having to not render the stuff behind.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, we could patch out all the shortcuts that no one sees because you have to drive through a solid wall and no one's dared to do that.
A few people have tried it, but they picked the wrong walls.
I mean, everyone only ever follows the intended correct behavior, right? So we just need to put them on the normal paths.
Oh, that's so stupid.
I can't believe we've just defeated all of the laws by driving backwards. That reminds me of a YouTube series I saw, which was someone put Fireman Sam backwards. So it was Arson Sam. He was starting all they revoiced it. He's starting all the fires and threatening people, and then they drive backwards everywhere to confuse the police.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
It starts with people going like, oh, thank you, and then he just burns everything.
It's like, hey, we're gonna have this arrangement. It's like, look, if you don't give me what I want, I'll set your house on fire. I'll carry your granny into this burning building.
Oh, yes, keeping on track, challenge impossible.
To sponsor this episode, get in touch on social media or insert business email here. Do you like Magic the Gathering? Then boy do I have a stream for you. Every Thursday we stream Magic the Gathering on our Twitch channel, Hexagorgon Live. Whether it's Elves All the Way Down, where Jamie jams elves in every format, and where you can learn how to build, or beat, an elves deck, or if it's Draft of the Week, where two of us play the most exciting limited format available at the time, it's always a blast watching us lose at Magic. Did I say lose? I meant almost win at Magic. Links to all of our stuff, as always, are in the show notes, so whilst you click on those, we'll get back to the episode. One of the problems that I have with cars at the moment is that they have quite a large turning circle in the grand scheme of things.
Yep.
So what if, instead of cars, they were spheres?
Oh, okay, yep.
Like Zorb style.
Well, no, they're still cars, but they're spherical cars.
Yeah, they are still cars, but what if instead of the weird car-looking, like, vehicle shape we've got right now, they were spheres?
Yep.
So I need to make a right turn. I just turn.
Yeah.
What you're saying is remove turn timing because spheres are always facing in every direction.
Precisely. If I want to make a 90-degree turn, I can just do that now.
No, you're making it League. We love our turn time. It's the best mechanic.
And we can still have turn time, but you can stop on a dime and rotate on a dime.
Eddie.
You need really good brakes to stop on a dime.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know about momentum?
This also is really good for the car stilts system, because you can just roll over the other balls.
And it's also going to be really good for the government once they privatize healthcare because of all the whiplash.
I think Alex and I are both picking up on the fact that, yes, you can stop and turn on a dime, but you can't move forwards and do the 90-degree turn at once. Unless, rather than you manually doing it by walking inside, you've actually motorized everything, so it's still actually a car, and it's still actually got an engine, it just can rotate the whole wheel around the outside.
Rotate momentum.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is portals. We need portal guns in all our cars.
I think you could cartoon this, and like when you know you need to turn, you rotate your legs, give them a big old spin, and then when you actually get to the corner, activate the movement.
And it's go, yeah, okay, yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but actually we have a way to do this, because you're talking about stopping on a dime. We have technology for stopping a car instantly. It's called a wall.
Boing, turn.
I just thought we were going to bounce, yeah.
If you want to translate that motion into like a 90-degree turn, you just need the wall to be at 90 degrees, and it'll just boing.
Oh, no, if the wall's at 45 degrees, you would turn 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really good.
And if it was at 0 degrees, you stop dead.
You would turn 180 degrees.
So we need deflectors everywhere.
Yeah, we need a bunch of walls installed on the roads that can pop up at either like 0 or 45 degrees.
A relevant angle,
And
yeah.
then we need like a GPS that then communicates with them and makes them pop up. That saves some turn time as well. If you want to stop, you're driving 100 miles an hour, you get to your friend's house, boom, wall comes up, you're there.
That is good. That is good.
No, you go backwards. You need a net.
Is this just pinball for cars?
Yeah.
Kinda.
It means your brakes never wear out, for one thing.
That would also help the point scoring system.
And it means you're always driving at the more efficient speed. Once you're up to speed, you never slow down until you stop dead.
That is true.
And you have to collect bananas along the way and get to the goal, and then you get a score at the end.
I think the problem here as well is that we'll have to make bridges for pedestrian crossings because there's no way you're crossing. I guess you could just put walls up when the pedestrians come along and then you can just bounce between them until the pedestrians go past.
You just bounce over them.
Just ramps. Walls at 45 degrees, but from the ground up.
Every car has a 45-degree wall on the front of it, so if you hit a pedestrian, they just go bounce away harmlessly.
So wait, rather than cow grids or cow plows or whatever they're called, we're including...
Yeah. Every Every car has a brick wall plow on the front of it
Pedestrian scoops.
for pedestrian safety.
I hope you are going the same way as I am, because I am forcing you to.
Okay, well, if pedestrians also use GPSs, then it can angle the car's scoop to bounce the pedestrian on their way.
Right, yeah.
So if you have mobility issues, you just go stand in the road and wait for a car to come.
If you don't have mobility issues, you stand in the road and you wait for a car to come.
So the nets you need to catch the car at the end of the journey, right? Because the wall won't stop you. You'll bounce back, so you have a net to catch the car. All of these nets that are built into the front of every property can catch the people when the person ploughed out the way.
Oh,
Well, we could do that with a net, or we could just have a wall flat on the ground.
Yeah, I think the wall works as well. I like the pinball thing works really well, actually, because to get started, rather than having to run and get up to speed, you just have a spring that you pull back that then smashes into the orb and sends you on your way at whatever speed. So you're at full speed immediately.
You're right. Why are we talking about pedestrians when there won't be any pedestrians? Everyone just lives in a ball all the time.
Yeah, it's such a perfect system. There would be no pedestrians.
What if you and I put our balls together?
When you're born, you get put in a ball for your life. There would be no pandemic.
Oh my word.
There would be no more showers.
There'd be no more food.
No, you can plug into your special station at home, which will spray water through or put food in, so you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the human race dies out.
The only problem with this is that it's such a perfect system that we don't need another balance patch later.
Yeah.
So we might want to hold on to this one for when the game's dying and we need to just go one all in.
Yeah, but it'll also take the entire market for us.
Oh, that is true though. It would absolutely dominate the market.
Because we're currently competing with those car tubes and with those feet.
What? No, we just invented those car tubes. What are you talking about?
We're competing with feet. It's a funny phrase.
I think every one of these balls needs little submarine claws on the outside, so we can still play board games though.
Just one big crane arm out of the front of each of them.
Yeah.
We just make board games bigger so that you have to physically push the pieces around.
Yeah.
Bump into the ball.
Yeah.
And you roll behind your hand to see what's in your hand.
Yeah, it all works like a charm.
You have a face down car on the battlefield, you have to somehow lift it up with your ball and look underneath it.
Yeah, sounds great. Wait, what?
I don't see the problem. I think it's a perfect system.
You're right.
Absolutely perfect.
Okay, instead of the claw system, everyone in their ball just has a full VR set, so we can just play it digitally.
Right, okay.
And in fact, then that'll save a lot of the collision issues because no one needs to go anywhere.
Yeah, we just make driving an entirely VR. Make life a VR experience.
Let's just put everyone into the Matrix. Yeah, we just make a bunch of balls that are Matrix pods for people.
Well, I've got a metaverse to sell you.
And then we harvest their energy because that's more efficient than just getting energy directly.
I didn't realise today we have had Car Tube's Underground suggestion, which is Hyperloop. We've had everyone just becomes VR with brain chips or whatever, which is the stupid Neuralink thing. Can we not have a three-peat on Musk ideas?
To be fair, I wasn't talking about Hyperloop. I was talking about the London Underground.
Oh, I know.
Look, no, I'm not going to agree to not talk about stuff because Elon Musk jerks off over it. Because I like sci-fi and I like the idea of advancing humanity, and I'm not going to let him scare me away from the topics I'm interested in just because he's shit.
Yeah.
No, you're right. We do need to figure out a way to crowbar NFTs into driving.
Oh, that's easy.
Just number plates.
Yeah, your number plates are on the blockchain for some reason.
I think everyone gets a custom wrap and you need an NFT to show that your wrap is original.
Nice.
Any more for any more. I do note that Eddie has a lot of cool ideas, and everyone else has 1.5.
I have written down on a piece of paper Mario Kart it,
Okay.
and I will not be taking any further questions at this time.
I think that's good because it adds I was thinking of some rubber banding mechanics, and that's basically just blue shells, right?
Yeah, you get blue shells, bullet bills. I'm taking questions at this time now.
These aren't questions. These are you just telling us how good it is.
You get boost. You can do the anti-gravity mode. You can hit into people, and that's fine. You can be Yoshi.
But every time you go on a drive, at the end of it, you have to get out the hose to wash off all the bits of banana and shell.
I love getting out the
and
hose.
Box that had item in it. Just have to clean the car from all the junk every single time.
It also means you get to pick up money just by driving, because you can get coins in boxes. Become richer by driving.
They're big. They look like they would damage the cars.
And if you fall off the road, a Lakitu picks you up and puts you back on, so that's much safer.
That is a good shout.
And I think this sort of falls into the whole topic of different game modes that I was thinking about.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
So you have the battle modes, all the sort of Mario Kart ones. You can go for like a single race or a distance race. We can have things like, I like the idea of Zen mode. You know, people who are just driving, they want a relaxing experience. I think the other thing is there's a real mismatch. Like I've lived in a city and I've lived out in the countryside, and the experiences were really different. It's like when you play Pokemon Go, until they made some fixes during the pandemic, you couldn't do nearly as much if you were living out in the countryside.
There are also much less car tubes.
Right, and it's just not fair that all of the, you know, your financial and your geographical situation has such an impact on your game experience. So I think we should just standardize the match length. Like, instead of the countryside drives all taking an hour and the city ones all taking 5 minutes, depending on traffic, every journey takes you half an hour.
That sounds great.
Or maybe we average out the distance of every route on the planet that you could possibly take, and just every journey takes the average of that.
So every journey takes a week or something. I don't know. How long does it take to drive halfway around the world?
Well, if you take every single house in every single place, then like you've got billions of places to go to, so the average is going to be pretty long.
What about rather than possible journeys, we take the average of every journey that's ever been made? That seems more fair.
That does seem more fair.
That seems like it would be a lower number.
Surely, if people did have a shorter journey on the long ones, they'd take them more often. You're being skewed by the current system.
Well, I think we just need to keep an eye on it and change that. Because also, if people are taking the journey less, now here's me being like an eco-communist, if people are taking their short journeys less, that means less driving, which means fuck the police.
How does that mean fuck the police?
What? I don't understand.
No, he just wants to say that, just extra, just on top of it.
I got carried away in my emotions there.
But if it does take like half an hour to get to the shop and half an hour to get back, I think more people would walk to the shop if it's only 10 minutes to the shop.
Yeah, sorry, that was the point I was getting at when I got distracted by fuck the police.
Wait, but would it take half an hour to walk either way?
Or, you know, we'd fuck the police because we're going to take the underground. That's what that song's about, right?
That is what that song's about.
I'm starting to get worried that at the end of this, I'm going to choose some things for the patch that make driving
Not happen.
go away more, and all of the organizations are going to hate us.
Well,
That doesn't matter, we've already patched it.
how can they hate you if they don't exist?
Yeah.
Next driving patch, we're abolishing driving.
Okay, how about things that will make actually driving fine? I've got a couple on those instead of making driving not fine.
Okay.
Okay, turn-based, right?
Oh, you've got me.
Driving is unfairly strong for people with quick reaction times, but it's not really a strategic experience. Why are we advantaging all of that and like making it time-based decision instead of just, you know, having interesting decisions to make, like a Snowtails kind of board game thing where you lock your moves in at a turn in advance and then they happen. You're not like making snap decisions and mistakes.
Okay, yeah.
Are we taking simultaneous turns so that if two people want to move into the same space, a collision happens?
Yeah, like you choose your move, but when you're taking a risk, like maybe driving into someone in the same turn, you know you're doing it then, instead of just being a selfish asshole.
Right.
So you have to be a malicious asshole.
Like, you can't just not think about the fact that you're cutting everyone off because you're going fast and you're ahead of them. You have to make that decision.
Okay, right. I see.
And everyone can flip the table when you do.
And they can make the decision to, like, move away from you and give you space or also engage on your level. So it kind of ends up in that similar matchmaking space where everyone partaking in the dickhead behavior is doing so with each other's consent.
I think this could run into some problems if we're playing diplomacy rules, where if you make an invalid move, you do nothing, and thus everyone else could pile it up behind you because someone was like, actually, I want to turn right twice.
Okay, but if it's diplomacy, then you have a 10-minute window between each move where you get to talk to everyone else around you. And so if you keep getting nothing, it's because someone's messing up with you and you're all going to agree to take them out.
I would like to support your invasion into the middle lane.
Yeah, like this person they keep agreeing to do things with me, they keep blocking, you go and talk to everyone on the road saying, hey, we're not going anywhere, so if we all move into this person's space, one person's going to clash with them and everyone else is going to invade them and destroy them.
Oh, right, yeah.
Although, I don't think we can afford to completely take out the time limit, because if Eddie's on the road, the game will never end.
Oof.
Yeah, this is true.
If it takes 10 minutes per turn and maybe a turn is like a little bit, doesn't that make driving super long?
You have 10 minutes to decide, like, every minute of your drive. You commit, like, a minute at a time.
So you've got your averaging your time on the road idea, where all of the short drives become really long compared to what they are currently. And now you've got turn-based, where all of your short drives become really long. Is your idea just to make driving hell?
Yeah, so every journey takes half an hour, and therefore every game takes 5 hours.
Okay, what if we put in a skip mechanic as well, called? Like fast travel, where you just black out for the duration of the drive, lose that much time of your life.
Oh, yes, we're going to solve driving by removing the driving. Yes.
No, you still have to do the driving. You just haven't remembered that you're doing it.
Fast travel is just airports, right?
No. Eddie, have you played Morrowind?
No.
Oh, wait.
Pretend you've played Morrowind.
Yes.
There's like these little silt striders, which are...
Little, did you just say little silt striders?
They're not little.
They're these little creatures that are giant long-legged ticks.
Giant long-legged ticks that instantly transport you for a low fee. So it's the best of your stilty driving and public transport.
So wait, it's the taxi thing again, but with huge bugs. So anyone who's squeamish and doesn't like bugs,
Huge bugs.
just they're part of life now.
Yeah, but you black out and you immediately appear after a loading screen in the next place.
So going like, hey Jamie, you don't like spiders. Taxis are spiders now.
Thanks, I hate it.
But they're tame. They're very nice creatures.
Oh, that's all right then.
I guess if you live in a society where giant bugs are normalized,
We do live in a society.
you're less likely to develop a phobia of them.
Yeah.
I guess so.
The final thing that I think we need, very simple change. You've got all these buttons in your car. No one knows what any of them do, right? Right in the middle there.
Yeah,
And then when you want one, you don't know which one it is, yeah.
Yeah, just get rid of all those buttons.
Yep.
yeah.
And then just put an undo button there instead. So like whatever you last did, it just undoes that. And so you don't need all of the weird buttons to like deal with something in advance because you get it wrong and then you just undo and then you get it right.
Okay, yeah. No, actually, that's simple and I like it. Yeah.
Can you only undo the previous action though? If you realise you made a mistake 3 actions ago, can you undo multiple times, or is it just a once undo?
Yeah, why not?
You could get rid of the honk button as well, because you just undo out of
But
any...
here's the thing, like, why do we need a honk button when we've already got a pedal? Why are they not hooked up?
Honk and pedal. I do like your idea of improving the UI though. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, the UI does kind of suck.
It does. We could do with like a speedometer on the windscreen.
Like a heads-up display map,
We could make sure the side quests are all listed there.
a quest tracker at the top.
And why does this phone screen keep popping up in front of my view?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, no, I've always wanted a heads-up display.
Tesla did just add Steam to their cars, so let's not.
Oh, we've done it. Oh, there's the 3p. Oh, no.
That's the 3 for 3.
That sounds like a good idea, though.
I think it's only when the car is stopped, thankfully.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever, but like having Steam.
I mean, there are those fancy cars that have, like, monitors in the back of the seats for the kids on long journeys, right?
You say fancy car. I saw an in-car DVD player in my charity shop recently for a $5.
Oh, sure, but no, but that's when you get like a third-party one and add it.
Added,
I'm talking about
yeah.
ones that have got built-in ones.
Yeah.
One of the other ideas I had, which is in stark contrast with the improving the UI, is patching out multitasking. Because lots of people cause problems while driving, while texting and driving, or drinking and driving. And so remove the multitasking aspect of it. If you're driving, you're driving. If you're drinking, you're drinking.
Man, I hate multitasking when I'm trying to drink and drive at the same time.
That's what drink driving means, right?
Instead of a passenger seat, you've got a little bar and you have to mix your cocktails while you're driving.
No, just take a swig of water and that's legal.
No, you're right. I think we need more mini games while driving. You're right.
Yeah, you're right. I take back the removal of multitasking.
The entire back half of my brain is not active while driving. Like, genuinely, I've got part of my brain that focuses on the driving, and like the other part that's just bored.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can have like full in-depth conversations while driving.
Yeah. It's just when you start using that part of the brain, it starts drawing resources from the driving part of the brain without you realizing.
Like, island, go, crash. Oh,
Tap turns the wheel.
I have thought about hacking my Android Auto to just be a normal screen, and I've frequently thought maybe I shouldn't.
yeah.
Probably
no.
a bad idea.
Again, car tubes solve this problem because you have one person who is trained to know which way to go.
Oh, you said what's trained mean? What does trained mean?
Yeah, sorry, what's a train?
Oh dear.
I think you mean one person card to go.
And everyone else can do what they want.
We could sort of like solve that problem a little bit in a different way with mandatory half times. Because driving doesn't have mandatory, like most other sports have half times.
Yeah.
Driving doesn't. So if we added a half time in,
I mean, lorry driving does, but yeah, we should make that mandatory for everyone.
but only beyond certain distances and within certain like contractual obligations. Whereas if we made it mandatory for everyone would have a period to rest, to get their like side quests and multitasking done, and then still get the actual journey done without too much taking much longer.
That also horribly skews shorter journeys more.
Yeah.
Like, a half time on a long journey doesn't add much, but a half time on a short journey does add a lot, and therefore you're incentivizing people to not do short journeys again, like all the other
We're
plans.
standardizing match lengths.
But here's my question. Why is halftime a good thing? Why not just halve the length of the game?
Why not both?
But then why not half the length of the game again?
Half the time and half time.
But like, if the halftime's needed because that length is too much to do, just play for that long and then put a second match in.
It also gives you the opportunity to like complete your side quests, to get your multitasking done, to make your drinks, you know.
To drink while you're not driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could do those just without having to then get back to the second half of the game if you just halve the game length.
But a lot of people want to do them mid-game. That's like part of the problem of driving at the moment and why we need to patch this.
He's not wrong.
People want to text while they're driving, and so adding a halftime where they can do that.
Yeah.
You know what else solves that, though? If we put everyone inside like a VR bubble where they're not in control of their body, then they won't be able to access their phones while they're driving.
That's why you need the chip so that they can't multitask. You put a chip in their brain and now they can't multitask.
Yeah, we plug them in. We have like a robot that they remotely control in their car, and then we don't allow it to access other things apart from the driving at the same time.
What, they're in the trunk?
They're in a bubble wherever. They're in the Matrix.
But the whole point is that they want to get somewhere.
Yeah, so they're sending their robot to get somewhere.
But what if they want to be there?
Then they be there through their robot. Like if they're trying to move goods or they're trying to be somewhere physically, they experience it all through their robot, and that just makes sure that they can't be playing on their phone while they're in their robot.
Just adding to my notes for you, robot.
I love how, like, the football question we ended up turning into a lot of other sports. In this one, we're just not driving.
Yes.
It's like, turn it into not driving.
But you are driving. You're driving via a robot, so that if you do crash, it's a lot less of a problem.
But you're not travelling anywhere.
Okay, but your robot is.
Oh, good. That's all right then. If I want to go and see my family and give them a hug, at least my robot can.
You're a brain in a jar, and your body goes. I'm just saying, like, disconnect your body from your mind, remote control your body, go give them a hug with your robot. Your robot's just not allowed to use your phone while it's driving.
Alright, look, I got a really, like, minor thing that I think we should steal from other games. It's just the auto-fix garage.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, when you get home, auto-fix your car. That's just a small little upgrade we can add into the patch notes somewhere.
Or just your car is always in whichever garage you go to. Anytime you open a garage, your car is there in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Oh, that would also be good, yeah.
So if you ever, like, go somewhere and then walk home, like if you go to the bar and then you decide to have a few drinks, so you walk home without having, instead of driving, you get up in the morning and like, oh, sweet, open the garage, there's my car.
Great. How did it get here? Doesn't matter.
Well, how did it get here? I opened the garage, that's how it's going.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Right.
Yeah.
How did I get home? Doesn't matter. Nobody's hurt.
I like autofix garages, but I want to add another bit.
Yeah.
Rather than them being sort of entrance, go in, go out, I want to turn them into drive-throughs so you can just drive through them. If something happens and you take a bump on the road, they'll just have sort of a pit lane that you just drive through, autofix, and keep going.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I get what you're saying, but like rather than having like a drive-through pit stop, you can just have a garage at the side of the road, and then if you ever damage your car, you just put a brick on the accelerator, jump out, let it drive off the bridge, and then go open the garage, and there it is in perfect condition.
Make an insurance claim. You know how it is.
One of the things you could do that might actually really solve this problem for real in real life is instead of you buy a car, you pay a car fee, and then you can go to any car that no one's using and just unlock it and drive. You park it wherever. It gets fixed by some company that fixes cars, and you can just, Bob's your uncle. You're just paying for cars.
Oh,
Well,
I see.
but if you combine that with the card tube plan, so you have to pay a fee to get on the car tube to go somewhere, that solves both the problems at once.
Okay, but how about instead of paying a fee, we just have a bunch of self-driving cars in a single fleet owned by nobody, and you don't pay a fee, and public transport is free, and we make basic services free for everybody?
Commie. Yes. Yes, 100% yes.
Yes. Oh, seriously, we agree with this. But
This is actually a political statement.
No, I think the pinball idea was really top tier.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
on the Zorbing idea, I know it's from ages ago, but we talked about drink driving since. I really want to see drink Zorbing.
Yeah, drink sorbing is
Drink
fine.
Zorbing.
I just want to see what that looks like.
Drink sorbing is encouraged. There are like cup holders in the side of your Zorb on the bouncy bits.
They do rotate around.
Yeah, well, no, you put your can in like opening first, so that it's only when you pull it out that it's actually gonna be able able to spill anywhere.
Oh, right, so you have to grab it out of the ceiling and take a swig, shove it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a watertight hole.
Are you actually controlling the Zorb, or do you just, like, program saying, I want to go to Jim's house?
Of course you're controlling the Zerb. It's a hamster ball.
Yeah, what would be the point in zorbing if you weren't... Yeah.
Also, we're driving.
Yeah, but surely the walls push you your own way. You just set the computer and it goes.
No.
How does a ball roll itself? Then it's a wheel, and it's not a ball anymore.
Or you code the pinball launcher that Eddie had the idea about, so it puts the exact right force on you to end you up at your destination.
Now, I see what you're saying, but I think it's much more entertaining to instead just go up to maximum speed, and then you've got to just navigate the walls to get to wherever it is you're going.
Good luck.
Or it's a combination of those two where it does launch you, but it can't launch you all the way because of like air resistance. So it launches, like it re-angles a bunch of these launchers so that you just go pinging around the city.
Bumpers, yeah.
Oh my word.
Like in that Robots movie where they take the transport and just fly and bounce everywhere.
Oh, I was thinking Donkey Kong barrel style.
I was just thinking a pinball machine.
Donkey Kong Barrel Style is great.
Yeah, except not just barrels.
But that would help, though, because then as they spin around, it would allow anyone to get anywhere. You just have to time when you launch correctly.
Donkey Kong Barrels solves the last mile problem.
Just end up in someone's sitting room by accident.
A whole city built around the concept of like a wacky marble run, except those marbles are people getting around.
So yeah, I'm sorry for taking us back to a previous thing. I wanted to bring up drink zorbing, that's all.
What if when you got into the Zorb, a giant came along with a big old club and tried to whack you to your destination?
I seduced the giant.
Well, they roll with advantage? What do you want?
No, what you do is you get the giant to pick you up and bounce you, and then they have to get you to their destination, and then they have to put you through a hoop, and they get points based on how far away from the hoop they are when they put you through the hoop.
That's an interesting idea. Or they could just use their feet and have to kick you into your destination net.
Oh, but they have a tool to do it, like you said, like not a hammer, like a stick with a net on the end.
Oh, that's netball, right?
I think we're there.
And the winner is Rocket League.
Oh no.
All right, well, I'm going to go get in my car and try out a bunch of these things and let you know how it goes.
Eddie, not Rocket League, Golf Rocket League, because then you can have a driving range.
Way.
Nice.
I think you mean a training range.
Wait, what's a train?
That golf reference is giving me wood.
Well, let's iron out these details.
I can't get green into it.
Tea is important.
Tea is important. Damn it.
We gotta put this episode to bed.
Right, I've taken some time to think about everyone's ideas. There's been a cut here, if you didn't know, of like 3 hours of recording, what I really think about it.
Spoilers behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not meant to say that, yeah. And overall, I think my favourite idea out of all of these is balls.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, sorry, spherical cars. Spherical
Oh,
cars.
really playing to the judge there with testicles.
Yeah, Jamie always loves balls.
Yeah. And who gave us balls as an answer? It was Ed.
Oh,
Balls.
yes. Nice.
Eddie, that's your new legal name.
Ed Balls the second.
I don't want to be Ed Balls, no.
Too late.
And that's what we play Win Stupid Prizes for, to have our identities revoked.
Yes. Wow, talking about prizes for the session.
Oh, yeah. We should probably have a prize.
I'd like to reveal that your prize for today's Win Stupid Prizes, cars.
Oh!
What do you mean?
You've won cars. Well done. Congratulations.
Like a car?
The concept?
Rights to the whole thing?
The movie rights?
Cars.
The movie rights to Cars by Disney.
Thanks for listening. If you want to keep up to date with everything we do, you can follow us on Twitter or on Facebook. And if you'd like to support us financially, you could send us a one-time donation on Ko-Fi, sign up for monthly donations on Patreon, or subscribe to us on Twitch if that's more your speed. Links to all of that will be in the show notes. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time. Well, you'll see us. Well, not see, exactly. You get the idea.
I did in my notes, so I've taken notes, just remember who said what, and next to Eddie here I just have balls.
But like, what did you write about the episode, though?
Yeah, exactly.
I too often have balls next to Eddie.
You forget who has editing power, you fool.